Hey y'all, it's Betsy from Cuttin Corners Vinyl in Nederland, Texas, and today's project is a fun one. What we are going to be doing is using our Cricut and our Cricut design space to design and cut and make a t-shirt from start to finish, so you can see every step along the way. Now we are just using text, so no pictures for this one. We are going to get a little bit more advanced. I figured since there are so many new viewers and a lot of you have just received your machines, that to start off we were going to go slow and start at the basics and kind of build from that. Now, the things that you're going to need for your t-shirt design today is you're going to need a t-shirt. This is a Bella and Canvas Deep Heather. You're also gonna need your HTV, which we are using Black Thermaflex Plus. This is just a regular HTV color. You're also gonna need your Easy Weeding wooden pick, your Teflon sheet, your t-shirt guide, some scissors. I'm using the Easy Press for this since a lot of you just got this, so here's my Cricut Easy Press. And I used to iron on with my Easy Press. This is a Steady Betty. These are available at steadybetty.com. They are, I think, $59 or $69 for this is a 15 by 24 inch. Now, all of the supplies, the vinyl, the t-shirt, the Easy Weeding wooden pick, the t-shirt guide, and the Teflon sheet are all available on our website. If you're interested in purchasing it, we greatly appreciate it, but don't feel like you have to. I'm still gonna do tutorials whether you purchase from me or not. Now, with that said, let me get the camera angle changed so I can show you everything that we are going to do today. Okay, so since today's project is we're gonna be doing a full t-shirt tutorial from start to finish, we're going to go ahead and start by designing our design, which we are in Cricut Design Space. We're going to click on the text icon, and we're going to go ahead and type out our text, which I am using, shall not try me. Okay, now let's go ahead and move this up so I can see it. And we're going to go ahead and change the font. I want something that's kind of cursive, so I'm going to go to our system fonts. These are fonts that I either came with my computer or that I have downloaded from linktofont.com or 1001 free fonts. So what I'm looking for is just a cursive font. Kind of look and see what I like. But you can use any font that you want. You can do any text. This is just to kind of show you the basics of doing a design like this. Okay. Kind of like freehand, but I'm not sure. That's kind of cute. But, I mean, that's kind of my process, is I'm looking to figure out what is going to work best for me. Okay, so I think I'm going to use Night Brush Demo. There we go. Did it not? Okie dokie. So one thing that we want to do is we want to adjust our letter space. You see how far apart that is? That is way too far apart. So we're going to go ahead and start squishing those down. For some reason, Cricut, whenever you take and use an outside font that's not theirs, they are really, really bad about not connecting the letters the way that they should. I mean, as you can see, I'm moving that over pretty far. I think one more. There we go. So now I like the way that that looks, but I think that the lines are spaced too far apart. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and squish in the lines so that they are closer together as well. Okay. And this is all going to depend on the font that you use and how you like the layout of it. Okay, So that is at negative 3.5 for line spacing and negative 1.1 for letter spacing. Now we're going to change the alignment so it is center. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and change the size of this. Let's make it 10 inches wide. There we go. Now you can kind of see what I was talking about. I'm going to go ahead and ungroup these. And I want to move that T over some. It seems pretty far out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and drag a selecting box over just the thou shall and click weld. Now that is all one piece. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the try me. Click weld, and again, now that is all one piece. Now we're going to select all of it, click align, and align centers horizontally. There we go. Let's see. And I think I still want to bring that up some. There we go. I like that better. Now let's align that again. And see, a lot of this is just kind of playing with it. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to weld that together. I'm going to change the size of that one more time to 10 inches. Now we're going to add a little bit more text. We're going to do mood 24/7. Okay, now we're going to change that font. And this time we want something that is pretty simple, just like a simple text font, simple lines. Either, let's see, that's good. But let's go ahead and bold that. Much better. Now we're going to shrink that down because I think that's too big to put under there. So we're going to go ahead and adjust the size of this to, let's try 3 inches. Okay, I like that. Let's make it 3.5. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and reselect everything by dragging a box over it, and I'm going to click align, and I'm going to align it to the right. So that way you see now all of those lines are lined up to the right hand side. Now what I'm going to do is, since that's all done, is I'm going to go ahead and weld that together. So now that will stay in one piece. And let me show you what happens if you don't weld it. So I'm going to undo that, and we're going to click on make it. That actually left it in one piece. Typically it does not. Let me go back. Okay. Oh, I didn't unweld it. That's why. There we go. Now, click on make it, and you see that adjusts it so it uses less vinyl. That's just a trick that Cricut does. I'm not a fan of that. I want my file to stay exactly where I have it. So I'm going to reselect everything and click weld. Now if you make a mistake, you can always use your undo button. And this is all about playing and learning how to make it. Okay, so now we're going to make it. Since we're doing this for a t-shirt, we're going to go ahead and mirror our design because you have to mirror HTV. And we're going to click continue. Okay. I'm going to take just a second. Now we're just going to be using regular iron-on, so we're going to select that. Now if you're using an older Cricut, you just turn your knob to where it says iron-on or HTV. I don't remember which one it says. It's been a while since I've looked at my Explorer Air 2. Now if you'll give me a second, I will change camera angles so you can see everything that is happening. We're going to show you how to load the paper, the vinyl in, and all that fun kind of stuff.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is load our vinyl onto our mat. This is an old mat. It is disgusting looking. And typically what I use to be able to continuously use my mats even after they've lost the stick is I use like a spray adhesive mist. You can find that at Hobby Lobby. So what we're going to do is go ahead and lay the vinyl on there. There we go. smooth it out. And it doesn't have to be exactly perfect because Cricut actually takes and brings your vinyl in a little bit from the sides. Okay, so as you can see, the blade slot, that is where your blade goes. Okay. Now close that up.
So what button did you hit to feed it?
Oh, you use this arrow button, which is the same on all Cricut machines. Now, if you have the old Cricut, it has a knob right here where you adjust your pressure for your vinyl. Typically, when you turn it towards the right-hand side, that means more pressure. Like, that's why regular vinyl is before HTV, or iron-on as it says on there. And what you do is once it's sent from the program, once it's loaded, you just press the flashing Cricut icon button. And on the computer screen, as you can see, it gives you a readout of how much of the progress is done. So while that's cutting, we're going to go over here. Since we're going to use our Easy Press for this project, we're going to go ahead and turn this on. And we're going to touch the temperature button. And we're going to adjust that up to 330 degrees. And now we're going to take the timer button and we're going to adjust that down to 15 seconds. So that can be preheating while our vinyl is cutting. So now, as you can see, it's preheating. It doesn't take very long. Ah, you're on my microphone. It's okay. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do, and while that is cutting, is I'm going to take the t-shirt that we are using, which is a Bella & Canvas Deep Heather, well, as I said in the introduction, and we're going to lay it out on our Steady Betty. Now, I know Cricut now makes an ironing mat. I haven't used it. I found this a long time ago at the quilt show, and it is, the people that run the business are just the absolute sweetest. It's a little old couple. It's a mom and pop shop, so it's a great way to support a small business. Okay, so now that is all smooth, and you can see that I have the shirt on here where it is equal. And the Easy Press is not heated completely, but you can just take and apply a little bit of heat to help remove any moisture in the air. Now, most of the time, if you see me on my videos, I don't do a lot of preheating as far as pre-pressing the shirts because I have a dehumidifier going in the office, so we don't actually have a lot of humidity in the room. Okay, so now that is finished cutting. So we're going to go back to the machine and unload the vinyl. So there we go. It's part of the reason why my mat is so freaking dirty. Okay, so now what we're going to do before we stick it, we have to weed the vinyl. Which weeding the vinyl, that is just removing the excess. So the first thing I'm going to do is trim off all of the excess pieces so that way it doesn't go to waste. Now we're going to move our Teflon sheet out of the way and we're going to go ahead and weed this. Okay. That's how you know when your Easy Press is ready. It makes that noise. And as I said before, 10.5 inches is pretty standard across the board for an adult size t-shirt, as well as most youth shirts. But whenever you start getting it into like the youth smalls and stuff like that, 9.5 is pretty good for it. Toddler shirts are normally between 7.5 and 8. And baby shirts, it kind of just depends on what size the baby is, because it can vary. They grow so quickly. Okay, Now that is all weeded. Now what we're going to take and do is now I have my t-shirt guide aligned right up here with the seams, so that way it is center. So I'm going to take my vinyl and we're going to fold this in half, as you can see, with the sticky part facing out. You don't want to crease it the opposite way because you can mess up your vinyl. So when you crease it, fold it with the non-sticky side towards itself. So as you can see that's pretty well even. Now we're going to take and line this up with the center mark on our t-shirt guide. You're gonna come stand over me so you can see it. Okay, so typically you want to go about 3 fingers down to the top of the first letter on an adult size shirt. Part of the reason why it's not cut smaller for the ruler is because when you're doing left and right chest and back, you need the length of it. Okay, so there we go. So now I'm going to cover it with my Teflon sheet. We're going to take the Easy Press and place it on one side, click the green Cricut button, and let it go for the full 15 seconds. And then we're going to move it to the other side and do the same thing. Okay. Again for the full 15 seconds. There we go. Okay, set that right there. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the clear plastic layer. Look how good that looks. Now we're going to repress it one more time. And this is the 9x9. This is the original Cricut Easy Press. They actually have a bigger version where you don't have to do this in 2 steps anymore, which is kind of nice, but I don't want to go buy another one since I have this one and it works great. So you can kind of just leave it sitting there. You don't have to sit there and babysit it. Now you do have to remember to remove it in the time or you will burn your shirt. There we go. Go ahead and turn that off. As you can see, perfectly centered and straight. That simple. Now, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon, that will notify you when we post new videos, which for most of the year is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Again, we're going to be doing some back to basic tutorials, so that way, I'm losing the shirt, some back to basic tutorials for all of you who have received new machines or people who are just now wanting to explore what they can do with their Cricuts and silhouettes. Again, don't forget to check me out on all my social medias, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, as well as my second channel, which is just Betsy Gocher, which is where I do all my makeup stuff, all the crafting for Disney, and all that fun kind of stuff. But I guess that's it for now, so we'll see you on the next one. Bye.